Hi, AV Clubbers. Welcome to another edition of DVR Club. I'm staff writer Alex McCown.
I'm staff writer Katie Rife.
And we will be talking about this week's episode of Game of Thrones, Unbowed, Unbent, and Unbroken.
The patience testing episode of Game of Thrones where they say, oh, you'll keep watching no matter what we do.
And so, with that uplifting, upbeat note from Katie...
I didn't like this episode.
Let's talk about our top storylines.
Yes.
Our first storyline, of course, starts off with Arya, still going through her Mr. Miyagi training montage.
Yeah, one of my favorite things in the book, her kung fu monk path that she's on, where she's gonna enter the 36 chambers one by one. And she entered a new chamber this week, but still I felt like nothing really happened.
I mean, what did happen was that you get to see a little bit of personality progression with her, right? Or education. She goes from not being able to sort of lie or fool anybody to that very sort of potent, I thought, somewhat moving speech she gives to the dying girl at the well when she feeds her the water.
Now she knows how to tell people what they want to hear.
Exactly.
Basically.
She's ready for a job at Best Buy.
And our other top storyline this week was the trial of Loras Tyrell with the surprise arrest at the end, if you haven't read the books.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, dun, dun.
Take her.
No! Torment! Torment! You can't do this. I am the queen.
I liked this storyline. I thought this was well done this week. I was surprised
I
to
always
see...
love Queen of Thorns. Whenever she shows up, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it's always fun to see Lady
Yeah.
Olenna
Yes.
come in and sass everybody within a 10-mile radius.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that was good. Watching the trial sort of unfold, seeing them bring out what you knew was going to happen, which was, of course, somebody calling out Loras for being the most... bad at hiding his homosexual relationships of anybody
Well, I
in the
think
Seven
he
Kingdoms.
kind of had the feeling that he's like, I'm the head of a noble house. I don't care.
Yeah, he's still
I do
living by
whatever
the
I
old
want.
rules.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he doesn't seem to realize, much like Cersei herself, that Cersei has opened up quite the can of worms and all the old rules are about to get thrown out the door.
Yeah, Cersei has no idea what she has set herself up for.
Next up is fighting words, which this week, in fact, takes the form of discussing an actual fight. That's, of course, being the fight between the Sand Snakes and Jaime and Bronn there to rescue Princess Myrcella.
See, I thought this fight was super contrived and just ended very suddenly and was very frustrating. It was a real disappointment, this fight.
See, I disagree. I liked this week's fight. This, to me, was an actual real tension-generating moment because I was worried that this was going to be the big, unexpected sort of twist, maybe death in this episode was either Jaime or Bronn getting the knife from one of the Sand Snakes.
I'm just kind of disappointed in the way that before this season started, they built up the Sand Snakes so much. They built up the storyline so much, and they haven't really done much of anything so far. So there better be a really cool Sand Snake scene coming before the end of the season, or I'm going to be disappointed.
I enjoyed them for what they were. I thought they were brought in to see people who actually might be able to take out Bronn and Jaime. Well, Jaime at this point, not impressive if you take him out. But Bronn, I mean, he's proven himself time and again to be arguably the best swordsman we've got. And so to see the Sand Snakes hold their own and almost take him down, to me, actually, I found it a real nail-biter of a scene.
I found the key word there was almost. Okay, Alex. One of the big reasons I hated this episode, we have to talk about it, the elephant in the room, the last scene with Sansa.
At this point, Sansa is basically the Job of Game of Thrones. Like, it's literally, there's like a bet that was struck years ago between George R.R. Martin and the writers to say, let's see how much punishment we can just visit upon this one innocent, defenseless girl and make people keep coming back to watch our show.
Yeah, this scene was a shock for shock's sake. It was the showrunners of Game of Thrones sitting around a table going, well, we gotta do something shocking. It's Game of Thrones. It didn't tell us anything we didn't already know. We already know that the Boltons are bad. We already know that Sansa has a shitty life. And she has plenty of reasons anyway to hate these people. We don't need to pile this on top of it. It just felt gratuitous, and the way it was framed, where it ended on Theon's face, if that was an attempt to be tasteful, it didn't work. And the sound in that scene was horrifying too.
It was just so frustrating to watch and so upsetting. And the thing is, it's not, even if they're trying to set up some sort of season-long, rape revenge storyline
Yeah,
or
some
something.
I spit on your grave thing.
Yeah,
It's just
angry
like,
woman coming back with a knife or something. This is a television show, and it ended right during the most horrifying moment. And now we have to sit there as an audience and be like, oh, that was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. Right, and they had no music during the credits to show how serious they were about the whole thing.
Yeah, because they were taking it so seriously.
So serious.
And this week we have a special edition of Speculation Corner. We're calling it Countdown to Destruction Cersei Lannister Edition. Somebody's downfall is coming soon.
I didn't trust your father. I didn't particularly like him, but I respected him. He was no fool. He understood that sometimes we must work with our rivals rather than destroy them.
House Lannister has no rival.
I think it's going to be the big episode 9 set piece this season because it really reinforces the themes that they've been working with about, changes of power, shifting power dynamics. And this would be a big shift in the power dynamic.
Whereas I think it's going to be coming in episode 8, possibly even episode 7. I think she can't control these forces that she's unleashed. She obviously doesn't realize yet the power that she's handed away. And it's going to come back to bite her in the ass very quickly because, as we all know, if there's anybody who's got a failing of morals in King's Landing, it's Cersei Lannister. Will Pinky shake on it? Swear? Pinky shake, swear? As they do in King's Landing?
Yes, that is the old Westerosi custom.
Yes. All right, that's it for this week's DVR Club. Thanks a lot again. I'm Alex McCown.
I'm Katie Rife.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.